Welcome back to Fox 12 Now. Thanks everyone for being here. We are live streaming out of the Fox 12 Oregon newsroom. We're here every weekday. We start at 1 o'clock and go throughout the afternoon, and we cover a wide range of topics. Coming up on Sunday, June 7th, it is National Cancer Survivor Day. A very important day to celebrate those who have fought through cancer and survived through everything that entails. And we're here to talk about that right now and have a conversation and discussion. We've got Dr. Bartholomew here with us. We've got Kortnee here with us. Thank you to both of you for being here and joining in. And, you know, I want to start off, if you wouldn't mind, maybe each introducing yourselves. Doctor, if you want to just let us know a little bit about yourself, and Kortnee a little bit about you, and then we'll have a discussion here about all of this.
Well, Greg, thanks for having me back on. My name is Dr. Sam Bartholomew. I'm a plastic and reconstructive surgeon with the Oregon Clinic, and a large part of my practice is breast reconstruction. And I'm celebrating, or we're talking about breast survivorship today, and really about the life and the things patients are able to do after, and really focusing on that, and certainly talk about some of the technical details. But I do breast reconstruction, and I'll let Kortnee introduce herself. But gosh, I think we've known each other now for about 10 years. I've had the privilege to care for her, and I'll let her introduce herself.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Kortnee. I'm a patient. And yeah, I've known Dr. B for like 10 years now. I was diagnosed with breast cancer when I was 35. I was young. And I've just, every step of the way, I've been with him through my journey.
And, you know, congratulations on surviving that and getting through that and all that entails. And, you know, having both of you on here, I think is really, you know, important for this talk about that, about going through that. And I think, Kortnee, you know, going to you, you know, you said you were 35, you got this diagnosis, you've, you know, gone through everything that entails. Now that you're where you're at right now, what would you say to somebody out there who maybe is going through this right now, or just getting the start of their journey through that, now that you're through to this part of it?
Yeah. So, I mean, cancer can happen at any age and stage in life. And, you know, it's very scary, but there's so many advances today, whether it's breast cancer or any type of cancer. And we have great medical teams, and there's such a community for people. With me in breast cancer, there was a lot of women my age, like young survivors going through it. So there is a lot of help that helps you, like not just physically, but emotionally going through it these days.
That's good. So there is, that help and assistance out there, so somebody doesn't have to feel alone or feel like I would imagine it's quite overwhelming as well, or it could be, but that's great to know that there's that assistance out there. So that really benefited for you?
Yes.
Great. And Doctor, you know, coming from your standpoint too, could you talk to us, you know, about what some of these big concerns that people have, and especially when we're talking about breast cancer and what people are going through, and how you, I guess, guide people through this?
Yeah, so I see patients at different parts of their times along their journey. I see a lot of patients initially when they have the diagnosis of breast cancer, and meet with them and talk about different options. And I think that the thing to understand is that breast reconstruction should be complementary. So it's a choice. Not every woman chooses to proceed with it, but when they do, I'm here to walk them through that and give them some options. And there are different options, whether it's a breast implant or using the body's tissue, and really working with them to see what's a good fit.
What are some of the biggest concerns that people have when they come to you, you know, for this kind of procedure?
Well, I think the big concerns are, how long will it take? Will it be very painful? How many visits? Do I need to do anything in the future? What it will look like? How it will feel? So there are a lot of different things. And frankly, it depends. It depends on the degree of the surgery. There are some patients that have mastectomies, and there are some that have a different type of treatment where only a part of the breast is removed, and then they have radiation. So the different treatment options can affect the tissue and really affect how things look. So I try to give them a realistic idea of what to expect, and give them some options. And I see patients as well after they've had their breast cancer surgeries, and sometimes I'll do what's called secondary reconstruction. So patients have either had a reconstruction, or they're older, or they haven't had any, and they're looking for ways to either improve the way they feel. Perhaps it's something where the skin's tight, or really improve the way things look. So I have lots of different options, and that's really a really rewarding part of what I do is working with patients to help them feel better and to really improve their lives.
Yeah, and having that personal connection, it sounds like, for each person, what matters to them, how they feel, how they want to go through that journey. I would imagine that's a big factor of that.
It is, and I really impress on it. It's very personal, and I think too, it's individual. And I think, particularly in the case of breast cancer, when women are going through this, it should be a choice that they want. Now, I think that sometimes there can be some pressure, maybe to do or a certain type of treatment or reconstruction, maybe from outside influences. But really, I think it's a personal choice, and I really guide them that there's not a right answer, but I'm there to help them and give them good advice, and then of course do the surgery and really, shepherd them through that process and be there for them.
And Kortnee, from your standpoint, going through this from your end of things, could you talk to us about what that journey was like for you? And really also, what advice you would give to others out there who may be going through that and making their own decisions for themselves?
Yes, for me, I reached out to other women that had been through breast cancer because I wasn't sure if I should just do a lumpectomy or a double mastectomy, and just getting the advice from them. One girl, she had a lumpectomy, and unfortunately for her, it came back. And so she said she wished if she were to do it again, she wished she would have done a double mastectomy. So that's what I did. That's what I chose. And for me, I just didn't want to have to go back and do mammograms and just be so nervous all the time. And I was glad they took all the breast tissue and I healed. And for me, that was the best choice.
And going, looking at where we are now, what do you think is the most important thing that the general public, that people should know about those who have gone through like what you've gone through and others? We're talking about National Cancer Survivor Day. What do you think is the most important thing people should think about or know?
I mean, everybody's journey is different. And I think there's just so much we know today that we didn't know back then about, health and wellness and what we use on our bodies and what we put in our bodies. But sometimes that doesn't matter. You can still just get cancer. And there's so many great teams of people. So, and there's so much out there that we can learn, when we're going through the journey. And there's, so I don't know, I guess that's what I'm trying to say. Everybody's journey is different, but for mine, I'm happy where I'm at now. And I had a great team of people that, helped me get through it.
Yeah, you mentioned, that there's so much help out there and places that people can go for advice, and everybody's journey is different. For you personally, were there any specific places or organizations that you went to that provided the most help that you would recommend, or anything along those lines?
Yeah, my oncology group was called Compass Oncology, and they are great. They have so many support groups for every age and every different type of cancer. So I did a lot of the women's support groups. There was another one called Pink Sisters, and they would also just do day retreats for women, because you have your friends and you have your family and your husband and kids, but sometimes you just need a day with other women who are actually going through the same thing. So that definitely helped me. We could, bond together over our treatments, our surgeries, and just get advice and, cry on each other's shoulders if we needed to. So that definitely helped during the journey.
And doctor, anything else that you would recommend for someone who's going through cancer, whatever stage they may be in and whatever their journey is? And I know everything is very personal, but as far as general advice that you would have for people out there?
I think it's important for patients to know that there's a lot of support. There's a lot of tremendous medical treatment. In the support, in terms of cancer survivorship for all types of cancer. And I, as a reconstructive surgeon, I work with patients who have a lot of different cancers in different parts of the body. And I do see, I think there's a lot more resources in terms of either national organizations, local organizations, but there's hope. And I think that's the most important thing, that there's hope for survivorship, for living after the cancer diagnosis and doing well. And I think that those options are better than they were when I was a student. I think that we have a lot more resources and a lot more medical technology and advances than we've had. It's a tremendous amount of resources for patients. So I think it's about hope, and it's about faith in the services and the treatments that are out there.
Well, and having, you know, a good support organization as far as what you two are both saying, that that's out there for people to get a hold of and to reach out and to find somebody to help you through this and get that advice. And, you know, I really appreciate both of you joining here to talk about this too. Is there anything else important that you'd like to share? Kortnee, do you have anything?
No, I mean, thank you for having us. And yeah, I mean, there's just so much, nowadays on cancer. And, always go to your checkups. If you're just worried or scared, don't. Like the sooner you go in, get your test scans, early stage, is better. So keep up on your medical history or your medical appointments.
Very good advice. All right. Well, thank you both for joining us. Really appreciate your time and this conversation.
Great. Thanks for having us, Greg.
And for everybody watching, we are live here out of the Fox 12 Oregon newsroom. And as I mentioned, we get to have a wide range of conversations and segments and discussions on the show. So thanks for being here. Whether you're watching live or after the fact, all of these segments are on our Fox 12 Oregon apps and the website and your mobile app. So plenty of places there to find it. We're going to take a quick break. We'll come back and we'll continue on with more Fox 12 Now.